Well, because that RAS filter could potentially start looking for the things that you are focusing on. So let me give you an example. Welcome to the Sacred Living Podcast. I'm your host, Leonie Dutoy, an expert in awareness and intuition. As a transformational coach, spiritual teacher, and healer, my mission is to help 1 million people tap into their own inner power. Join me on the sacred journey as we explore the tools and modalities that guide us through awakening, healing, and growth. In each episode, we'll delve into the spiritual foundations, inner work, and the path to awakening abundance. Discover how your spirit senses, awareness, and intuition can help you cut through the confusion of waking up, navigating the overwhelming amount of information out there, and bring clarity, ease, and purpose into your life. Let me bring you the tools, techniques, and guidance to support you on your own spiritual journey. Let's walk this beautiful and sacred path together. On today's episode, we are going to dive a little bit into signs from the universe, and when signs are actually not signs from the universe. So stay with me, I'll explain everything. But yes, sometimes those signs that you see from the universe, like 1111 or 555, or I don't know, a butterfly, those could potentially not be signs from the universe, but it could be because of your RAS, because of your reticular activating system and the things that you are focusing on. So let me explain. The reticular activating system is a network of neurons located in the brainstem that plays a crucial role in regulating wakefulness, arousal, and attention. So it acts as a filter for the vast amounts of sensory information that our brain receives, and it allows only the most important and relevant data to reach our conscious awareness. Now, without the RAS, we will be flooded with information, sensory information, but the RAS helps us focus to see and only receive specific stimuli, okay, such as hearing our name when we're in a crowded room. Okay, so your attention wants to be on somebody calling your name. You will hear it because you know it's important. They're looking for you. Or noticing a particular model of car when you've decided that you want a red Mustang. So your brain goes and looks for the red Mustang because you have said to it, you have put the awareness in there. You've set the intention that a red Mustang is that something that you want in your awareness, and then your brain starts focusing on that, and that's when you see red Mustangs everywhere. Okay, or if you want to buy a pair of shoes, you've never seen it, you've seen it once, and then you go, "Ooh, I want that pair of shoes," and all of a sudden you see it everywhere. That is because of your reticular activating system, the RAS. Why do I share this with you? Why am I telling you about this? Well, because that RAS filter could potentially start looking for the things that you are focusing on. So let me give you an example. A few years ago, when I was doing group sound healing meditations, I would drive up to the hills here in Perth and I would go and do meditation there for a yoga class. And one morning I drove out and I was looking for answers. There was something I was going through and I wanted to get clarity on it. And as I drove out of my driveway, I said, universe, if this is a yes, if this is a positive, then show me a Mustang. Now, back then, Mustangs weren't a common car on the roads here in Perth. If you see one in a day or in a week, you'd be very lucky. So I set that as the intention, and I said, if this was a yes, if this was a go ahead, if this was a good sign, show me a Mustang on the road while I drive from my home up into the hills. And it's about a 40-minute drive. So I left home. I decided I was going to go to McDonald's, stop there for a cup of coffee, and then I was going to head up into the hills. Now, grabbed my coffee, and as I drove out of the driveway at Macca's, I saw a Mustang on the road and I was blown away. I was like, there's my sign. I've seen it. Thank you very much. Again, remembering that this was not a common occurrence on the road. I drove and I was really excited because I saw a Mustang. No word of a lie, must be 2 minutes later, I saw another Mustang on the road. And I was like, that is just, thank you. That's double confirmation. It just feels good. It feels right. So drove further, must have been maybe another 10, 15 minutes on the road. I saw another Mustang. And I was just, that blew my mind. And I was like, this is huge. For me to see 3 Mustangs in less than 20 minutes on the road, that's huge. Like, that is my confirmation. So drove, and I'm not lying to you guys, I saw another 2 Mustangs on the road before I got to my destination. All up in a space of like 40 minutes, I saw 5 Mustangs on the road that morning. I took it as a clear sign, again, because Mustang, you didn't see them on the road. So then for probably the next year, I still used the Mustang as a sign. I would sometimes say, if, I become really specific and I would go, if this is a good sign, or if this is a go ahead, this is positive, please send me a blue Mustang. So I would get really, really clear on what it is that I wanted to see. And I would get my answers. Either, black one was negative or, blue one was positive, whatever it was. But then there came a time when my awareness, I became aware that Mustangs were everywhere. Every second, person out there was driving a Mustang, and it just became a big thing. I was seeing them everywhere. And I knew in that moment that I could no longer rely on the Mustang as a sign from the universe, because my brain had been programmed to see the Mustang. Does it make sense now? So here is another example. A friend of mine who, when he started on his spiritual journey, and we had a chat one day, and he said to me, I have been seeing 1111 since I was a child. Okay. Now, what has happened for him is, from a very young age, he kept seeing 1111, and he says he sees it on a daily basis. Now, what's happened is his brain is programmed to see 1111 because he's been seeing it since he was a young child. Now, I would not use 1111 as a sign in any way, shape, or form. What I would do is I would say, what was I thinking at that time? Perhaps just use it as an awareness tool, but I would not use it as a sign. So here's the thing. When you are asking for signs from the universe, how are you using them? What is your awareness around the signs? Have you programmed your mind to find the white feathers, find the opportunities to see 555? Find the opportunities to see the cars with 888 on the registration, on the number plate. Can you see how you've got to be very, very careful when you use signs from the universe as a sign from the universe? So you've really got to go and sit and look at it and go, have I programmed my mind to see these things as a regular occurrence? Have I actually programmed it? Is that filter in place? Or is this really a sign from the universe? I encourage you to find new ways to receive signs from the universe, to look at your signs with real awareness and go, is this really a sign from the universe, or is this just me focusing and seeing the things that I have conditioned my mind to see? So now you might be asking, well, how do I use signs? And what is a sign and what's not a sign? All I want to say is that perhaps when we talk about signs and receiving signs and signs from the universe, we need to have awareness around what we were thinking, what we were doing, what energy we were in when we saw that thing that we perceive as a sign. So if you were having a bad day, or you were in a negative state of mind while driving, and you were running over this thing that happened at work, and all of a sudden you see the, 888, instead of going, oh, abundance, thank you, you should be going, hang on, what was I thinking? That sign is drawing your attention to the moment. So always first go to awareness. Go, what was I thinking? Where was I? Who was I talking to? What was my energy like? And perhaps those little signs that we see, perhaps those things that the little guidance, the little things that we get from the universe and from the angels, and however you want to look at it, perhaps we should start using those rather as moments of awareness throughout our day, rather than just throwing it out there and saying it's a sign from the universe. Maybe it's a sign from the universe that you need to pay attention. A sign from the universe that you are having negative thoughts. So I hope this kind of just puts a different perspective on signs and numbers and just, all these things that you hear when you're in the spiritual communities. My aim is to bring your awareness to these things, for you to understand that it is not just one thing, and that sometimes your brain can actually, or the subconscious mind can override certain things. So if you stay in a state of awareness and you stay in a state of guidance and from your intuition, you will start noticing these things, and you'll start asking questions that are just a little bit outside of what you are being told by the community, by the internet, by leaders and spiritual people out there. So I hope this has brought some awareness to signs for you guys, because I constantly hear from my clients and from my students, about signs and how, and you know what? The first thing that I do is just bring awareness to it. So I'd love to hear from you. What do you think now that you know that you have this filter in your brain that allows you to focus on those things? Do you still think that your signs are signs? Maybe you've created a filter and you are constantly seeing this one thing and you're thinking that it is guidance. Let me know what you think. I would love to know what you guys feel about this. Thank you so much for listening to the Sacred Living Podcast. If you loved the show and found value from being here, please share it with the world so we can help others on their spiritual journey. Please rate the show. It will only take a few seconds, and it will help the Sacred Living Podcast reach more beautiful souls like yourself. Let's reach 1 million people with this message that they can live their best life if they use their spirit senses, awareness and intuition. Making the world a better place starts with knowing ourselves and living guided by our soul. Stay in awareness, be open to your intuition, and live an abundant and blessed life. Until next time, beautiful soul. If you're new to the spiritual path or looking to deepen your spiritual practices, Sacred Beginnings is the perfect place to start. Launching again in January 25, this transformative 12-week program is designed to help you build strong foundations that will support your growth and awakening for years to come. In Sacred Beginnings, you'll embark on a journey through essential spiritual teachings and practices that focuses on the two most important senses, awareness and intuition. These senses are at the core of everything that I teach because they are the keys to truly unlocking your spiritual potential. Explore topics like awareness, intuition, grounding, clearing, psychic abilities, chakras, crystals, past life regression, awakening abundance, and so much more. Each module is thoughtfully crafted to guide you step by step on your sacred path, providing you with the tools and knowledge needed to awaken your spirit, heal old wounds, and grow into your true potential. Where the world talks about manifesting, we focus on awakening abundance. Yes, we use similar steps, but our emphasis on awareness and intuition is what truly makes the difference. This missing link will empower you to tap into the real power of manifesting. With live sessions, guided practices, a supportive community, and the opportunity for personal coaching, you'll experience deep transformation in a nurturing and sacred environment. Don't miss your chance to be part of this powerful experience. Go to sacredlivingacademy.com and join the priority list to be the first to know when we open the doors to Sacred Beginnings. Or simply click the link in the show notes. Your sacred journey awaits. Get ready to step into a new chapter of spiritual growth and empowerment.